What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent?
It smells like flowers.
Mmm.
Uncle Bad, is this it?
Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there?
Looks like she managed to escape the bailiff.
No, that's not quite it.
Too bad. It's so pretty.
I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
Thanks. I'll treasure it always.
Those two seem to get along rather well. Oh here, I've got something else for you.
Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad. Alright, one of these are gummy.
Gummy? Oh, you mean gumshoe?
Gummies. Trying to be nice to me because I was going to get in trouble. Then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy. I know he didn't kill Daddy.
Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying.
I'm not crying.
Kay?
Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too.
Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being?
You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant, so I'm related to the investigation.
Is that so, Detective Bad? Yeah, I guess.
What? You were just scolding us like kids not to mess up the crime scene. And now you let the child run free? Why?
People are free to investigate things outside the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that?
Ugh.
I don't have a problem with that, but I'm curious as to what Miss Yu's looking into.
Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right. Hey, mister.
Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy isn't really the bad guy. I mean it. So please, find the real bad guy, okay?
I won't forgive whoever did this, but in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there's no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. The pieces starting to come together in my mind, at least. This decorative plant leaves us shinier than the ones in the plant in lobby number 2.
Probably because it's next to the window, so it's easy to photosynthesize.
You may be right. Plus the curtains are always drawn in lobby number 2.
The caretakers of this courthouse don't think enough about the plants, do they?
That's because they're not the courthouse's That's because they're the courthouse's caretakers, not a bunch of botanists. One of the windows in this lobby is open as well. The air conditioner's working just fine in this room, so why'd they open it, I wonder? I can see down to the courthouse courtyard from here.
What's that mess supposed to be? It's like an optical illusion.
I believe it's supposed to be postmodern in design.
More like thoughtlessness in design.
I can't disagree there. This television is the same model as the one in Defendant Lobby number 2.
Looks like the two rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies.
Yes. The two rooms are basically the same, huh? It may not look like much, but I find that ordinary tables like this one are very useful.
I think it's time they bought a new one. I wonder if they'll replace this table if I hit it enough with my whip.
A much too heavy-handed method if I ever saw one.
That's an incredibly strong scented herbal tea.
I fear that more than being relaxing, the scent may make one a bit heady instead. You put in a special request for that.
No wonder she's so fine. She's been drinking this stuff the whole time.
Neither woman should be allowed to comment on this particular topic ever. That expensive painting is ill-suited to be hanging in the wall of this room.
I wonder if a guard detail should be placed on it.
Why'd you say that?
Well, a desperate low-paid detective might take it off as... A desperate low-paid detective might make off of it someday. You never know.
She may be thinking about hiring a guard, but it's obvious she isn't factoring in the guard's salary whatsoever. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy.
Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay?
It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste. Sounds like you'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you. Be that as it may, we still have questions that need to be answered. Now then, first of all, what is that overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and open the window, but that smell's still here. Perfume, huh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume.
It's giving off quite a stench. I bet some cheap no-name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas.
It's a knockoff. Yeah, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles onto me. Here, little girl, you can have it.
I was born for much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Now, Edgeworth, you've held on to this battle without fail.
Ugh. Why can't she ever be honest about her wants? So now we have the perfume Miss Yu wears. Fantastic. Is that what you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigate it. Actually, I have a few other things I wish to inquire about. You were there in this room the entire recess? Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get the big lug down here. Other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here.
At least the story is consistent.
Earlier you stated you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then, what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in two different locations. Guess I am. Interesting.
Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Let's see. Ms. Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG-8 incident. As I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on that case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard CC, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You know? I also know today's trial involving the Carnothian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG-8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Ms. Yu and Mr. Faraday and the KG-8 incident. If if you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG-8 incident. It's not exactly an happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell.
It's a fucking lollipop!
The honest truth behind the KG-8 incident. Faraday, you and I, as you already know, we three were involved in the KG-8 incident. Faraday and I were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the case involving the Armano Group's secretary? That trial was just a front.
A facade?
Yeah, but the case became tainted, all because the witness who was going to testify about the Armano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. Then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Devilray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring, but he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Devilray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man, just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Armano Group. You can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Armano. It can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. What's he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Armano of being involved with smuggling?
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal if he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. Since he's already been acquitted once of a murder, Mr. Faraday, how can you have let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, CC, I was supposed to protect them both. Ms. Yu did mention that as well, about how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But even I was supposed to protect them. I fell into their trap.
What kind of trap?
The holes in this jacket are a testament to the trap. Oh shit, and I thought they were fag burns. You mean you were fired upon?
You were shot that many times in one gunfight?
No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG-8 incident. I see. I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned, and that's when she come to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu. About when you first met Miss Yu, it is on the day the verdict of the KG-8 incident was handed down, was it not? Yeah, Faraday and I apologised to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. Then she gave me an hard slap across the face.
Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
I suppose not. You said it herself. She never wanted to see either of us again. But after that you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG-8 incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases, but the result was always the same. we couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? It was in pursuit of the ring we met you once again. He was doing another trial related to smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor and I was the lead detective. Took to the witness stand. She appeared out the blue as a defence attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring and she was defending them? Yeah. He was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think the defendant Rel. I think she defended Rel this time for the same reason. Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect.
I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright?
And for that you've not a single qualm about defending a known killer?
Don't put words in my mouth, I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rel was to be his lawyer. I have no intention of covering for him. Ever. Don't you dare suggest I was going to. It doesn't matter what her reason is. Having a criminal is just despicable.
You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you, that's how naive you are.
How dare you insult the daughter of Van Karma!
Just like us, you felt she hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law's merely a tool, there's no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young. One day you'll know what I mean. Enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I cracked quite a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagaratsu case.
Did we touch a nerve?
I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagaratsu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify at today's trial, to prove Rel was not the real Yatagaratsu, which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either. As soon as there's more to that statement than meets the eye, perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagaratsu is what's necessary. Yeah, so he knew then. He knew, clearly. You claim to know much about the Yatagaratsu. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagaratsu. What? The KG8 incident and the second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring, and in both these cases the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there's one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagaratsu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagaratsu, however in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagaratsu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that the least bit odd?
Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and spit it out already.
I believe there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time, a reasoner, and so in order to catch Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell's cold-blooded killer, I feel I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu. If it will help you solve the case, I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we never caught the Yatagarasu.
What's this sudden outburst for? You almost made me Vicky by accident.
Oh! It still accidentally whipped me anyway. There's three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always know the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever. I see. Those are the Yatagarazu's special traits.
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and that would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew Rell weren't the real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove he hasn't.
Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time is that the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police, and the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodofian embassy, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicise any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others know about. In that case, how can you be so sure it was the Yatagarasu who sent it? That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses when attached. That's how I can be sure. And what sort of card is that? Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yatagarasu wants to publicise something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rell about what was sent along with the white card, Rell had no idea what it was. So that's how Detective Bad knew Mr. Rell was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. If you could please head over to the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir. Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you? Find the answer to that question. It's the only reason I'm still alive. I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth! Oh. It appears His Honor stood a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. Oh, now I have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony.
There is no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to do anything other than the verdict.
Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honor.
I'm not trying to, Miles.
Your Honor. Huh? I've come to collect the evidence that has been transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence? Your Honor. Oh, yes, can I help you? I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor, do you think you could stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry. And I would, except the defense attorney's yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. In that case, please confirm all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell are now also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. The piece of evidence used in the murder of those two men. This could be a good chance for me to find new leads regarding that case. Maybe even something will finally lead me to the truth. I placed all the evidence over on the prosecutor's bench for you. I see. Thank you very much. I'll go and confirm they're all accounted for. This is the evidence related to the released Codep Embassy trial from the Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in Lorry 2, right?
Yes. Finally, we can now take a look at the evidence itself and not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed. I want to take a good look at all the evidence from the embassy murder too.
Why is that?
Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about.
No? Don't point your club at me just because you don't know something.
And don't try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
I see someone still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma.
It's also real to see the knife up close.
So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. What's this organizer doing here? Oh, that's right, I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation. Detective Bad said that?
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, I never look a gift horse in the mouth. Might as well flip through it too. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started.
I wasn't afforded the opportunity to skim it.
I suppose I should explain it to you then.
Yeah, you should. Perfectly in its entirety, if you please.
On the night of September the 8th, the embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackrell was brought to that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man is what he was.
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rell was caught in the act on film by security camera.
There's an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice the security camera.
The Codepane
Get it out.
The Codepane Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may well have simply not been aware that there was a camera in there.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot is crystal clear. So the footage
included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Me neither. This gun was originally used to kill the Codepane. I had no fucking problem saying these words earlier in the playthrough, so what the fuck is tripping me up now? This gun was used, it was originally used to kill the Codapain Embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest.
And then the gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic.
Indeed. Doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Over the fact it's a beautiful piece of art. Could be used for such a cool act.
It never crossed your mind to use your riding crop for the wrong purpose? Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in a habit of using it.
Looks like he thought his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here.
I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove he was the one. It appears Mr. Faraday honestly believed Mr. Rell was the killer in this case. The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yakakarasu. It would also appear he had proof Mr. Rell was not the Yatakarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatakarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear up everything. He apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle. I hope this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have made about being the real Yatakarasu.
Or he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party is the embassy murder.
This organises the clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a fuller lead later.
Look, there's a picture stuck between the pages here.
It appears to be a key.
A rather ornate one at that. Look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatakarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Yatakarasu's key?
Detective Bat said something earlier. What's different about this time was the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police, and the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Codapain Embassy, the Yatakarasu. The Yatakarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatakarasu would always publicise any corrupt dealings with the mass media. Yeah, we fucking read all this, come on.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe.
As the prosecutor on both the Yatakaratu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected. That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer. I'm not the only one thinking that they look similar, the key and the knife, right?
That certainly is odd.
The weapon was used to kill the Codapain Embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell. The only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this in.
In that case, how do you suppose the knife ended up in the courthouse?
need to think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there's one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one else has claimed to have seen today. In order to solve this mystery, I believe I need to make another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact you have yet to answer me to mean you don't have an answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Franziska.
What? Then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. Actually, this piece of evidence, the knife was brought into the courthouse.
Take that!
This Yatakoratsu key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Franziska, to see what I mean. Don't the colour and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything?
They do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yatakoratsu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatakoratsu's key, the only object we found on the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say?
It appears you finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say these two pieces are in fact one and the same.
But that's impossible!
Even if that's what you believe, we should still investigate the possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife with a little more detail.
Ta-da! I can't believe it turned into a key. The fencer isn't tricked this thing.
So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key to Yatakoratsu's skull. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now.
Frankly, I'm shocked.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible even he had no idea the key was holding a knife blade inside.
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to the knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
Even among law enforcement, the key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than Mr. Faraday, meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yatakoratsu.
Then maybe Mr. Rell really was the Yatakoratsu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario?
No, not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rell was not the Yatakoratsu. Besides, Detective Bad said earlier, only question Rell about was sent along with the white card. But I had no idea what it was.
I see. Alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind the key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatakoratsu.
It seems this key is truly the key to solving the case. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video played in the court.
The surveillance video? How can a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rell committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed? Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honour, I'm missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
What? No! I dare not lick my duties! What do you take me for? No, Your Honour, the most important piece of evidence in today's trial, the surveillance video, is not among the evidence you laid out for me. But I bought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape's still somewhere at the crime scene. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear for me to find the answers I seek, I'll have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defendant lobby number 2.
Unless it's in the VHS machine, then no, it's definitely been nicked. Oh god, I've got to do his fucking voice now.
That's Detective Bad, but who's he with?
I've never seen that officer before.
So did you find it?
No, not yet. I've looked everywhere.
I see. Then please continue with the search.
Understood. I'll continue the search. Huh. So you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't be allowed crime scenes.
How dare you? Just who do you think you are? What was that all about? And who was that man just now?
Whatever he was, I've never seen a more impotent officer in my life.
Does he even know we're standing right here behind him?
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids? I mean, he's holding a fucking mirror. Looks like you were paying attention after all.
Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head. So that mirror isn't just for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out for what is behind him at all times. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Zengfar's study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to retrieve the lost honor of his family. He's travelling the world to study different philosophies of entertainment from scratch. By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge from some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he's rude.
It shows a lot of guts to consist, can't you give prosecutors a hard time?
I agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around the lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you. I highly doubt it has nothing to do with me. Fine, if this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding from what happened in this room straight from him.
That is one tiny TV.
Detective Gumshoe was rather shocked at this and said it's huge compared to his own.
Ha! Anything you compare with something he owns will always seem grandiose.
Speaking of grandiose, I said that ego of yours could use a little deflating. Earlier you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You're quite the busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success, that's what the detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. Boy, you'll see. I will draw my answer from you one way or another.
But it clearly to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation.
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's helped enough, don't you think?
Ah!
Please, we're asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid. I'd like to ask once again about what happened around the time of the crime. I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about? Aren't you supposed to know everything?
He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know the truth behind that piece of evidence? I should try showing it to him. It may prove to be the key to getting some more answers from Detective Bad. Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of this item in the photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case. In that case, let me ask you something. Do you know the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and the Yatagarazu's key are one and the same? You what? That's impossible.
Looks like you didn't know after all.
This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarazu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarazu's key to prove Mr. Rail was not the real Yatagarazu. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife. Yeah, I have to admit neither of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, there's no one in law enforcement knew either. How we missed something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago you appear to be searching for something. I presume this key is what you're searching for. Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday that I'd protect that key with my life. After he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought the key was what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad. So that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Alright, but it don't matter how many times I tell you about what happened, nothing will change. Detective Bad, I ask you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. My answer's still the same, and this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up. To find the truth behind this case. I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gun right before the trial was about to reconvene. When I heard it, you and I immediately dashed out in the hall together. Then saw Gumshoe goofing around there and we all ran to call lobby number 2.
So that's the exact same story he told before?
Indeed. However, I feel we've got to draw out all the information we can.
Hold it!
Why Miss Yu choose lobby number 1? Answer me. Oh no, she just said she has something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together, that's all. So the answer remains the same as before, I see.
Hold it!
I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu. Trivial stuff, not really important. That's for me to decide. Alright, I suppose it's for him to decide. Moving on then.
Hold it!
Until you heard the gunshot, do you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until the gunshot. If the gunshot that Detective Bad heard really came from the murderer, that would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure. I didn't hear any other strange sounds until the gunshot.
Objection!
Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same colour that Kay was holding.
Oh, so you know about the girl's balloon?
Yeah, I was sitting with her right up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her. As you may already summarise, the piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you getting at? This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook for a gunshot. Oh, so the sound the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, His Honor said he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene.
Yes, which means His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. If you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough, you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? Well, don't give me a so.
We just proved there's a flaw in your testimony.
The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of sweet naivete crackling. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Do you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of the place seem so rugged? They were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
What's that supposed to mean?
The doors and walls are super thick, the window panes are double layered. Top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound absorbing material. Then you mean? Since I was shot inside lobby number 1, there's no way I could have heard that sound.
No.
I knew that's what he was going to say.
So that means the scuff-face testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle.
Oh, that's also why it's only natural I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids? How'd you hear the gun then?
Miles, I thought they were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around.
The other way around? It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if you were in lobby number 1. If we examine the situation in reverse, the person standing in the hallway would not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that's the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean, Al? I just did. It would appear you have yet to realise the contradiction in your own words. Well, how so? If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I'll get some more out of it from Faraday's murder than I thought.
Which means what exactly, Myers? And what does it boil down to?
It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have.
Looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh?
State of the crime scene? Wait, can it be? She spilled some of it. Way too noisy.
Surveillance video? How many pieces of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
So it isn't a fucking VHS tape then? Oh shit. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through the barred windows, and yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from Defendant Lobby 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows.